All right. Hello, what's up? It's been a minute. By that, I mean several years, but giving this a shot, sharing a story that I wrote today. There's a lot of reasons why I didn't uh, post over the last couple years, but the main one has to do with like business. What will people think? You know what? Ultimately, some stories need to be told. So I'm going to put this out there, see what you all think. I'm going to share something a little bit differently today. Off to a tremendous start, having spilled my coffee entirely on the floor, but at a coffee shop outside of Washington D.C., not my previous haunts. But all right, so I'm gonna do this one take. I'll read the story. Would love some feedback. Would love comments. If you have any thoughts, I'll put a link so you can check it out yourself if you want to follow along that way. I'm that kind of reader. All right, here we go. Make this a little bit bigger. Where did the story go? There it is. All right, cool. It's called The Mother of Rose. Two women were hunched over in the field close to the soil. They were picking up fruit that had fallen from the tree. Every day they worked together in the fields. In the distance was the sea. As she picked up a fruit that had fallen to the ground, the younger of the two women said, "A teacher is coming to speak this afternoon. They say this teacher is different." Different? How different? They always say that, but the teachers, the rabbis, they're always the same. I do not know. They say his message is different. No, it's always the same. The teachers are men. Men do not care about women like us. They tell a story. They say God only loves certain people. Then they ask for your money. Why waste your time? This teacher does not care. Maybe this one does. No, no one does. We are poor. Look at that house. You think that the master of this house even knows your name? As she said this, the older woman pointed back to the house that owned the field. It was far in the distance. It looked like a white cloud resting on a hilltop. He does not know you. And if he knew of your child, I tell you, we are lucky to have this work. You especially. You know your child will live in shame without a father. If the master knew this, no, no, no. Better they do not know you. This is at a time where to be a single mother would have been a big deal. I do not know. Exactly. You don't have time for teachers and their stories. What is her name again? Your daughter? Rose. Rose, because they're my favorite flowers. Hey, look, the sun. Well, you and Rose, you must stay quiet. I tell you, the teacher does not care about women like us. I have heard that he spoke to a woman with child by the well. She said he was peaceful. She said his words were soft and kind. He spoke to her like there was nothing wrong with, "Do you mean Maria? I have heard of this. How shameful he speaks to a woman like that, forbidden by the book what she does. At least we are working with our hands. She sells her body. How could a teacher talk to a woman like that? I tell you, this teacher is an evil one. He does not know God. Enough. Come, we must return to our work." At the end of the day, they separated. The mother of Rose reached her home, tired from a day in the dirt. Dirt caked in the cracks of her skin. As she approached the house, she heard crying. Rose was hungry and needed to be nursed. And as she nursed the child, her mother complained. She was angry because during the day, Rose cried too much. "Please, take her away until she is asleep. Please give me a moment in my own house." The woman walked out of the house with Rose in her arms. There was a crowd walking towards the sea. Remember, they're on the sea. She heard someone say that the teacher was coming. That's right, that is today. And so, with Rose in her arms, she walked with the crowds towards the sea. Perhaps she would see the teacher. Perhaps she would see the father of Rose again, the man who came briefly and told her he loved her, and who told her he would return as soon as he could. Rose would know her father. This much she hoped and prayed for. The crowd was thick. The air was hot and humid. Maybe she would find him in the crowd. Some kind of crowd. They were close to the water. The air smelled like salt. Rose was scared with the noise and clutching more on her mother. "Move back," said a man. He put up his hand to halt her progress. "I want to hear the teacher." "We all do, woman. Say, where is your husband?" In the distance, a man dressed in white stood on a small fishing boat. It was a teacher, it must be. He put his hands up, getting ready to speak. The crowd started to become quiet. "You heard me, woman. Where is your husband?" She stared at the ground and did not respond. Rose started crying. The voices all around her began to say, "Shut up. We're trying to hear him. Woman, shut up your child. Quiet. The teacher will speak. Shut up your child. Where is your husband?" Rose was crying more. Suddenly there was a hush. She looked. She looked up and the teacher in the boat. He was staring at her and the child. Would he know her shame? Would he ask, where is the husband? He did not say anything. He just looked at her. His eyes were kind. He smiled. There was a calm and a breeze from the water. Rose stopped talking. He looked at them both and smiled. All around was quiet. The people all around her stopped talking. Everyone looked at the teacher in white standing on the boat. The teacher looked back towards the crowd and spoke. The next day, where'd it go? The next day, as the sun came up, and the young woman and the old woman were in the field gathering fruit. Why do you look happy? Did you find the father? Did he return? No, not that. He will not return, I tell you. Today we must remove all the fruit, and there is much to be done. Move faster. They walked into the field. I heard the teacher last night. Ha! Why do you waste your time like that? You have to take care of your child. Rose was with me. I did not plan on going, but I found myself there. We both listened to the teacher. And what did he say? Did he ask for your money? They always ask for money. Here, hand me that fruit. Here. He told a story about seeds. Seeds? What does that have to do with anything? Well, it wasn't really a story. He said we're all like seeds on a path. He said some seeds are snatched up. Some seeds grow but are caught by thorns. Some seeds grow because they have good soil. At the end of the story, everyone was silent. He is different, this teacher. He smiles when he speaks, and when you listen, it is calm. At the end, there was stillness. We all breathed together. No one moved, not even Rose. She was so quiet when the teacher spoke. He made me think differently. Ha, this teacher. Do you think he would actually know what to do with the seed? You do not need to go listen to men who want your money. Speak, it is stupid. We work in the sun. Here is a seed. Look, in this fruit, we have to work. All that time for nothing. We're still here. We're still cool. That's true, but the young woman stopped talking. Instead, she bent to the ground to pick up the fruit and thought of the man's smile. She said to herself, Rose will grow in good soil. I will nurture her with love. She will grow towards the light. That's it. Done. Done. If you didn't catch that, if you know the Bible, you know that the teacher is Jesus, and he's a pretty good spiritual philosopher, Yeshua. And he gave us one of his parables. And in the Bible, it mentions he was standing on a boat when he delivered the seed metaphor or parable. So I just thought of what that crowd would be like, what it would be like to watch a guy on a boat telling a story. So that was the inspiration behind that. Yeah, mothers everywhere. Hey, tomorrow's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Feliz Dia de la Madre. All right, that's it. We'll see if this continues. Over and out. Ándale pues.